Town Advisory Board meeting August 11th, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. here at the Clark County Regional Government Center. I'll go ahead and read some items into the record for housekeeping. Items on the agenda may be taken out of order, and the board may combine two or more agenda items for consideration. The board may remove an item from the agenda or delay discussion relating to any item at any time. No action may be taken on any matter not listed on today's posted agenda. All planning and zoning matters heard before this meeting are forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners, Zoning Commission, otherwise known as the BCC, and the Clark County Planning Commission, known as the PC, for final action. Please take a moment to turn off all cell phones or mute them. Please take any private conversations outside the room. Within a 48-hour notice, advance request, a sign language interpreter, or other reasonable efforts to assist and accommodate persons with physical disabilities may be made available by calling 702-455-3530 or TDD at 702-385-7486, or Relay Nevada toll-free at 800-326-6868. Supporting material provided to the board members for this meeting may be requested from Mark Moskowitz at 702-298-0828. Supporting material is or will be available at the Clark County Department of Administrative Services in Grand Central Parkway in Las Vegas, but supporting material is or also will be available on the Clark County website at clarkcountynv.gov/Laughlin TAB. I'll go ahead and commence a roll call. Pamela Walker is absent today. She's caught in Vegas. Myself will be chairing. Kathy Oakes, Bradley Beck.
Here.
Present. Kathleen Haas.
Here.
Here. Carrie Larson.
Here.
Present. We have 4 members present, and we do have a quorum. Our secretary is Kathleen Hickman, and she can be reached at 702-298-0828 with an email address of Kathleen, KATHLEEN .Hickman, HICKMAN at clarkcountynv.gov. Our county liaison is here with us today, Mark Moskowitz, and he can be reached at 2 numbers. The first here at 702-298-0828, and in his Las Vegas office at 702-455-6173 with an email address of mark.moskowitz, MOSKOWITZ at clarkcountynv.gov. Okay. This has been our call to order and our roll call. If I can please have you stand, and will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. We'll move forward to item number 2 today, which this is the public comment section of today's meeting, and it's a period devoted to comments by the general public about items on today's agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item at this time during the public comment session. You'll be afforded the opportunity to speak on individual public hearing items listed on today's agenda at the time they are permitted. If you wish to speak to the board about items within its jurisdiction but not appearing on today's agenda, you must wait until the end of our meeting, which is known as the comments by the general public period, listed at the end of today's agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium that we have here. Clearly state your name and address for the record, and please spell your name so it's easier for our secretary to write that down. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of the presentation, that will be done by the chair or by the board by majority vote. Having read that into the minutes, was there anyone that would like to speak today regarding items on today's agenda before those items are heard? Okay. All right, seeing no one, I'll go ahead and close the public comment section of today's agenda. Move forward to item number 3. Item number 3 is approval of the minutes. I'm actually going to combine 3 and 4. Approval of the minutes for July 14th, 2026, and approval of today's agenda for August 11th, 2026. Hold, combine, or delete any items for possible action.
So move.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. And item number 5, informational items for today. Receive a report and updates from our South County liaison, Mark Moskowitz, regarding the back-to-school events and the dive-in pool. That looked like fun. That were held in Laughlin, and any other updates from Clark County. And this is for discussion only.
Thank you. I just want to first, I know yesterday was the first day of school, so please just remember everyone to be on the lookout, watch out for children and students that are heading to school. With that, I'd like to bring up my presentation. We had our annual back to school health and wellness fair. This year was amazing. We partnered with the school to host it there, so we were really getting everyone. Principal Moss was great to provide us a gym. We had so many of our community partners. I know we have a lot in the room here that were there, and we also we had Stomper, the mascot from the A's, was there, so it was really fun for all the students to be able to get a picture with him. So here's a few pictures, and then we also had, what I think is the most amazing thing is we had our dental and our vision van, which I don't know if you saw, it's these huge 16-wheelers that park out front, and they just service everyone for free. And I just talked with the people who managed it, and it was a very successful event. We saw a lot of people. If you did go to the vision van and you got glasses, I know they had mentioned it would be September 4th that they were going to come back to the high school. It's going to be September 11th. So Friday, September 11th, you'll probably get a follow-up from Healthy Together, and that's going to be Friday, September 11th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the school. So if you got glasses, that's when they'll be able to fit them and try them on with you. If you're not able to make that, and if you weren't able to make the previous one, they will either mail you the glasses or they'll leave it at the school to pick it up. So I think we have probably 40 pairs of glasses that we are going to be distributing that day, so they need a little bit extra time to do it, but it's a really, really great event, and thank you everyone for coming to it. That little girl up front, she was so sweet. She was about 7 years old and just thanked Commissioner Naft and myself for bringing us service, and she was in there getting her teeth clean and her vision. So it really is such a wonderful experience. If you do get a chance to just, it's so nice that you walk in there, there's a true waiting room. You don't feel like you're just in a bus that's there. It's really, really nice, and it's wonderful staff that do it. I was talking with them today, and the vision people wish they could do it as their full-time job. So they hate that they only get to do it once a week. But it was a really successful event. We're looking at other times to bring them down as well. So thank you to everyone. And we had over 255 people attend the Back to School Health and Wellness Fair. So it was very well attended. Following that, we had our Back to School Splash. Thank you for the community. I know it was a great, fun Friday of doing that. We had about 270 people show up to that. Thank you to the Metro and the Metro volunteers for providing the shaved ice. It was very, very clutch. It helped our movie as well, so thank you so much. And I also want to thank Tri-State Community Healthcare. They provided pizza as well. So, and we had popcorn, and it was just a lot of fun, really successful event. So thank you for everyone coming out. That'll be our last one of the summer, but we had such a good turnout. Next summer, we'll be doing a lot more of these. And then we'll now probably transition to doing movies in the park since it'll be a little cooler. So that's exciting. And I know I've mentioned before, that'll end the presentation, but we've got our UMC Online Connection Center across the street. Please utilize that. I know back to school, there could be bumps, bruises, coughs, sneezes. So that's a really good resource to use. And I know it's still warm out. Our fitness room at the Spirit Mountain Activity Center, we've had over 100 signups, so thank you for the community for coming up and using it. It sounds like we're getting a lot of good feedback. So if you have any questions or concerns, and always check in with them. They do have scholarships available, so we want to make it affordable and accessible for everyone to be able to, if they want to use that facility, to be able to use it. So it's been a really good resource, and working with the Boys and Girls Club and utilizing that space has been great with Dave Heath there as well. So with that, those are all my updates. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So then we'll move forward to receive a report from Lieutenant Rogers, which is not actually Lieutenant Rogers, but regarding activity and statistics during the past month. Welcome.
Hey, good afternoon. Sergeant Blum with Las Vegas Metro on behalf of Lieutenant Rogers from the Laughlin substation here. Just want to say thanks to Commissioner Naff's office for those two wonderful events. The backpack drive was good for us, partnering with the community and yourself, so thank you again. I'm glad the snow cones worked out good. Those are always a good hit. So for the Laughlin calls for service here on the July agenda here. So for July of 2026, we had 323 calls for service. Last year, there was 336 calls for service, so we're down 3.87% going forward. Traffic citations, there were a total of 174 traffic citations issued. We had no DUIs in the month of July, surprisingly. And then the battery domestic violence events, we had 7 events involving adults and 0 events, thank God, involving children, so that's good. For the bookings, we had 30 arrests for adults and 0 for juvenile arrests. And it looks like we had overall of 2 citations for juveniles going for the month of July. So that kind of concludes the overview of that. Any questions?
And everything else relatively the same percentages, calls for service as far as the properties, nothing standing out.
Nothing standing out. I know we had a major incident, but it was going for the month of August in one of the apartment complexes that's been handled. And other than that, nothing else is standing out in the complexes as of right now.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
You said a major incident. Are you able to say what that was or no?
So it was a domestic violence incident that went over there. Resulted in some police activity, and we had to call out some of our friends from the valley to come down and help with the investigation. And they made an arrest on it, so we're in good hands. Looks like
Let me
everything's
guess. Crown Point?
It was at the Desert Bay Apartments, yes.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And receive a report from Sergeant Tim Waller, Nevada Highway Patrol, regarding activity and statistics during the last month. Welcome. Hi.
Nevada Highway Patrol. I had to turn it on. So for our stats for last month, July, we conducted 430 traffic stops, issued 323 citations, and investigated 11 crashes. We had two arrests, 1 DUI arrest, and then with all of our other miscellaneous calls, we had a total of 583 contacts with the public. And that's all I got. Any questions?
And still construction till December.
Yeah, they're getting ready to fire that back up here in September. They're going to do the cap on it, and then they'll be out doing the rumble strips, the painting, and some signage. So by Halloween is a pretty realistic guess.
Unfortunately, I've ended up like 2 or 3 trips a week lately. I just don't.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I see it a
they
lot.
left and they start, Las Vegas Paving goes and they work on Boulder Highway or whatever they're doing. So they leave it that way. And we've actually had a couple of incidents with the all
You
the
have a
barrels.
soundtrack. Hey, we're getting technologically advanced.
By
I'm
Halloween,
sorry, could you say that again?
By
Just-
Halloween, we should get, but they leave that closed. They are working on some of the drainage and stuff out in there. So they'll shut a lane down. We've had a few people hit some barrels and stuff. So, but hopefully soon, it'll be all done.
Yep.
All right.
Until the next time.
There's always something, right? So,
All right. Any questions from the board? No. All right. Thank you.
thank you.
And receive a report from Clark County, there we are, Fire Department regarding calls for service during the past month and fire prevention issues. Welcome.
It's not fireman proof. Thank you guys very much. Hey, if you guys can do the background music again, that'd be great. It kind of
Yeah. We have a
Anything's upbeat.
soundtrack.
Hey, I spoke to our crews that participated in the back to school event, and they were very happy to be there and said it was a really positive experience. And thank you and Commissioner Knapp for helping with that. That's fantastic. As far as our calls for service for the month of July 2026, we ran 202 calls. Last year, same month, 203, almost identical. Year to date, we're at 1,399. Last year, year to date, 1,407. Again, almost identical. So
pretty close.
we're on track. A little bit less, but that's good. Any questions about any?
Any questions from the board? Okay, just a couple of questions. How are you liking the work with the new ambulance company?
Community ambulance has been very positive. A lot of our areas, both here and in town, community's been growing, and they're a very good partner, so very positive.
Okay, we had just had the other company for so very long. It's unusual to,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, and they're good partners too. It's funny because a lot of it, we see it's a lot of the same faces, you know, and as community grows, some of the other people are coming over from the other ambulance companies, so, but they've been great partners.
Okay, and then just out of curiosity, where are we at currently with the watercraft? You know, we have one more, you know, large,
Yeah, things are good with the
Holiday in
watercraft. I just left Station 76. It's in service and ready to go.
so the 2 jet skis and the boat? Both?
Correct.
We have all 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and planning just to leave those on the water until after the holiday?
Well, they're in
or-
the stations now, but they're ready to be launched.
Okay,
So,
okay.
all right. Thank you. Have a good day.
And receive a report from Gal Gabaldon. There she is. She's right behind Jackie. I didn't see her. With Laughlin Chamber of Commerce regarding current and upcoming events in Laughlin. Welcome.
Good afternoon. We have 5 upcoming networking education events. One this Friday would be the Roadhouse Roundup. That one is also assisted with Silver Rider. They will be transporting from the Laughlin Chamber, so be at the Laughlin Chamber at 5:45 sharp. It is $10 a round trip. It takes you up to Searchlight for to the Terribles Roadhouse. You'll have Good Springs Grifters playing that night. So it's a nice little event to get away and not have to worry about driving there and back. Also coming up is WARMC, Western Arizona Regional Medical Center. Arizona Cardiology Southwest Center is having a ribbon cutting. They are having a live mariachi band there that night, refreshments and clinic tour. That'll be August 20th at 5 p.m. And that's at 1648 Highway 95 in Bullhead City. Our upcoming networking breakfast will be presented by SCORE Las Vegas, and that speaker will be Janet Hartley. She is the Nevada District Director. Their topic for the breakfast is Mentoring Matters. Speak to your SCORE mentor today. We also have 2 Toastmaster meetings this month, one on August 12th and one on the 26th at 5 p.m. at Laughlin Chamber. And then also coming up is our lunch mob first Friday. This time we will be going to the French Connection Cafe and Lounge. That's September 4th at noon. That address is 2245 Clearwater Drive in Bullhead City. So if you're interested in attending any of those events, please call Claudia to RSVP at 702-298-2214. She is extension 1. And then also a reminder, our upcoming Community Achievement Awards. This is the 29th annual. We are still accepting nominations for all categories. You have until August the 24th to nominate. You can go to laughlinchamber.com/CAA-nominate, and you can see all of the categories and the descriptions there. As for membership, we are currently at 260 members. We've gained 24 new members this year and 2 new members from Laughlin in the 3rd quarter. And then we also have our Volunteers in Partnership meeting coming up on September the 8th at 5 p.m. That'll be held at Harrah's Laughlin in the Ensenada Banquet Room. So if anyone is interested in joining the Volunteers in Partnership, they assist in townwide events, local concerts, and they support other nonprofits. Please give us a call at the Laughlin Chamber, or you can also email Sue at Susan, SUSBERILLA, VIP@yahoo.com for more information. And then also a reminder that the Laughlin Chamber has additional services available. We have a notary by appointment only. We also have the Nevada Department of Wildlife. We are a registered agent. We sell fishing licenses, and we've been really busy with fishing licenses this summer. So come on over and get your license. And then also, we are the host to the Visitor Center and Business Center. So if you are looking for information of things to do in the area, or you need to fax something, come on down. We can help you out. Any questions?
Any questions? I appreciate you having that fax.
You're welcome.
I actually had someone ask me for a fax the other day, and I was like, I'm not sure how to do that anymore.
We email and make copies too.
That was bizarre. All right,
you.
thank you. Receive a report from Jason Bailey with the Big Bend Water District regarding the status of the water system. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board. Jason Bailey with the Big Bend Water District. Just want to give a few updates for this month. Our July diversions from the river were 319 acre feet. So year to date, total diversions are 2,013 acre feet. So we're about 200 acre feet more than this point last year. It's been a hot year. It's been a very dry year. A few notable updates to the system, or just the things that we've worked on this past month. We've had divers go out to clean those intake screens that are in the river, as well as we've upgraded our surge tank controls at both the raw and finished water pumps. This will just help with pump start and stops, just to help minimize those pressure fluctuations. I wanted to give an update on our financial report where we're at. This is just a draft, but as we closed the fiscal year as June 30th, the Big Bend Water District debt balance has decreased about $460,000. So from 2.66 to 2.22. Again, this is draft. I don't anticipate it moving much, but the final report will be sent to the state. I think that's sometime in September, October. And then I wanted to give an update on the hydraulic analysis. Ms. Oakes met with members of the Big Bend Water District, as well as Mark Moskowitz and Guy Hobbs about 2 weeks ago, and we talked about the hydraulic analysis, and it was determined that we would send a request for proposal or an estimate to a engineering firm, which we have this week. That proposal was sent. The estimate, it'll probably be a couple weeks to hear back from them, and I'll report on that in terms of their plan for this hydraulic analysis and the estimate. And then I know that last month, Ms. Larson asked for an update on Colorado River negotiations. So as you know, the federal government recently released its FEIS, which stands for the Final Environmental Impact Statement, which will provide environmental compliance for the Colorado River for the next 10 years. We are still waiting on the record of decision. That has not been sent out. And so as an agency, again, our kind of final statement or our thoughts on that, we'll wait until that record of decision is released. However, I will say that the EIS did state that it outlines a plan, a short-term plan to reduce the allocation for the lower basin states. So for Nevada, Arizona, and California for 2027 and 2028. This is kind of a suggested path from the federal government. And so, again, any reductions, though, the proposed reductions are, we last year used less water than what those proposed reductions would be. So what we have done in the valley in terms of conservation initiatives and policies has helped reduce our consumptive use far below that what any allocation would be reduced to, if that makes sense. And so, again, we'll have more information as that record of decision is sent. We don't know when that will be, but that's kind of the next piece, and that's kind of the stamp, I guess, on this environmental impact statement. With that, any questions on that, Carrie?
Yes, so because you don't have the final decision, I would presume that the FEIS is open to public comment at this time?
It is open to comment. I'm not sure the process of that.
Sure.
I can look and find out and send you some information on that. I'm not sure for how long or what that looks like. But yes, that has not been, the record of decision has not been given yet.
Okay. So I would suggest people search
Typically-
that out and do some research and make some comments.
Yeah, because it would probably be during this period, if you wouldn't mind to find out what that procedure is. I mean, I hate to say it, but I might be here 10 years from now, so we may do this again.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't know the timelines for that.
Yeah, and absolutely, really we're staying focused on our water conservation, on our initiatives and policies that we have planned and moving forward. Really, this is an opportunity to stabilize these reservoirs. We have Lake Powell and Lake Mead, as well as Lake Mojave, and so how can we best stabilize for all 7 basin states, as well as the country of Mexico that pull water from the Colorado River?
Do you know if the desalinization plants in California have had any, are those portion of this, or is that not even considered since that's a newer development?
Well, that wouldn't be, they would not be pulling from the Colorado River.
No, I know, but from their allocation standpoint, will that factor in at all with the FEIS?
I don't believe the desal plants,
It's too new.
yeah.
And to have a bearing, okay. Okay. Is it okay if I elaborate a little bit on our meeting?
Yeah, no, I think that's
At
perfectly
this point,
fine.
or do you want me to do it later?
I think that's okay because it's relevant to the Big Bend Water District.
And just so that the public is aware and this board is aware, the company that we've put the proposal out has worked with Clark County before. It is the same that has done Mesquite. They did their hydraulic study, so they will be doing that, you know, as well. I wanted a 4-week timeline for them to complete it. They wanted an 8-week timeline. We settled on about 6 weeks. It's going to be done by desktop, in other words, as-built of our system, verified with physical site inspections as well. So we've asked for, they're going to be taking in, you know, the as-built for our water system, what they have in plans that are there. Some of the stuff may be older that we don't know, but each segment of that will also be verified and on-site. And I volunteered, you know, my monster van, and they want to go out and take a look at that stuff as what the physical site locations. And some of the scope also will, you know, it'll include what is physically in the ground, also what we would need going forward, the capacity on the tanks as well, and what that will afford us. Is that pretty much your understanding of the meeting too? Because if I miss something, please.
No, you're right. We also talked about adding on or just including an O&M manual to
Correct.
that, as well as an
I didn't know the name of that, yeah.
as well as an engineering design estimate. So they'll, for a storage tank, right? So they're going to kind of give us an estimate of what they believe the design
It will
would
cost, and
Yeah.
also.
So
and
that's
if
just to get
you
another.
could explain what the study is for Nevada, for the OEM,
For the operations and maintenance manual.
right?
Maybe, I don't know if JT, if he has a little bit more information on that, or could provide that information.
It's basically a report that we have to file with Nevada, with the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
And it's something that we haven't had in the past, but we're going to use the hydraulic study to put that information to them. And it's something that, you know, I think we were supposed to have done a period of time ago, but we are going to also include that in the scope of this.
Correct.
About right. And then another thing that I have still proposed for and asked is that we get a copy of the actual legislative bill that states how the WRDA funds can be used, and whether that creates a situation where it has to be the design, plan, and review for the first tank, or if it can be the second, and if there's a workaround, since we are fully funding, you know, at least one tank from the Fort Mojave Development Fund, that we get that done. Because I think the timeline would be faster to do that privately with the Fort Mojave Development Fund instead of working with the Army Corps of Engineers, who have a little bit longer time frame. Use that WRDA funding, which is a match fund that we were awarded to do the secondary tank design plan and review for the secondary.
Okay.
I'm still looking for that. No guarantees I'll find it, but I'm still trying.
Okay.
I think it's a good way to do it since, and WRDA went forward not knowing that we would approve the funding from Fort Mojave Development Fund. So we tried one method while we had another one that we hadn't made a decision on. So that's why it's gone that way. But when the federal government gets involved in it, sometimes the timelines go longer. And also sometimes there's federal hoops that they clarify. And we meet the requirements of those federal hoops, and those don't come back to bite us like they did with the second bridge, where that was a delay, because I think they'll mitigate that so that we don't come across that at a later time, where a private company is not already engaged in all the government processes. They can outline them, but they're not going to go through that. So.
I will also add, I spoke with our Director of Infrastructure, and she stated that we encourage interested developers to engage with us in a pre-submittal meeting. This will help us really understand what that looks like in terms of short-term or near-term development, the demand, to help us better understand what we can approve in future development, right? So if there are any developers that are interested in meeting with the Las Vegas Valley Water District, Big Bend Water District, they can meet in terms of, it's called a pre-submittal meeting, to understand what their project is and the demand, I guess, that they'll have on the system.
And would we direct them to you?
Yeah, or they can go online and find that, or they can,
I think
you can
it's
direct
better
them to me.
one-on-one.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll forward them to
Yeah.
you.
Perfect.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Okay, and let's see, receive a report from, there he is, Will Smith, Clark County Water Reclamation, regarding the status of our wastewater system. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Will Smith, Clark County Water Reclamation District, the Laughlin facility. Here to show the statistics for the Laughlin facility for July 2026. We treated an influent flow average of 1.83 million gallons per day. Clean water returned to the Colorado River, 55.68 million gallons, which converts over to 170.88 acre feet. Last year, this time, we treated a flow of 1.80 million gallons a day, equaling out to 50.62 million gallons, or 155.37 acre feet. That's an increase of 5.06 million gallons, or 15.51 acre feet of clean water return compared to last year. As usual, I attached our influent flow chart along with a new chart that shows our acre footage that we discharge monthly into the Colorado, make it a little easier to reference what's happening from month to month. Odor complaints, we had 0 odor complaints. We had no sewer service complaints. We had 61 call before you dig tickets for the month of July. Our financial update, the facility fiscal year 2026-2027 overall approved operating expense budget is $2,169,040, which included an approved operating and maintenance expense budget of $1,198,900. I am pleased to announce, because I think the question was asked to my counterpart who came in, who stood in for me last month, that the Laughlin Water Resource Center has earned the NACWA Platinum 13 Peak Performance Award in recognition of 13 years of 100% compliance for calendar year 2025.
Nice.
And NACWA stands for National Association of Clean Water Agencies.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Upcoming projects, the Project 2012, the Laughlin Lift Station number 2 Force Main Rehabilitation Project is on the go. It's in process. Right now, they are having progress meetings. I have no other information from the progress meeting. As we have more meetings and I get more information, I will share all the information that's community impacting. And that is all I have for you today. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Thank you, Will.
Yes, ma'am. Have a great day.
Let's see, receive a report from Jackie Wellen, Laughlin Tourism Commission regarding current and upcoming events and activities. Hello. Oh, is that the one you told us about last week or last month?
You can see we have the grommet there.
Oh, yeah.
This is number 7 out of 250. I make about 2 to 4 a week right now.
You're artistic.
So this is that for you guys. You can see it.
I'm zero creative, so.
And then I'll tell the story behind it. Jackie Wallen, Laughlin Tourism Commission. Upcoming events are Thomas Rhett at the Edge Pavilion on October 1st, Candlebox October 3rd. These are the ones that are selling the most tickets at present. Nelly with special guest Little John will be at the LEC, and that will be October 24th. Bailey Zimmerman was just announced for LEC. He'll be here on November 14th. And then we have Killers of Kill Tony Adult Variety Show, and that's at the Rio Vista Amphitheater on December 5th. Our volunteers in partnership through the Chamber, which I sit as treasurer, will be volunteering at each one of these events. If any volunteers out there are interested in joining the Volunteers in Partnership to help with the ushering and scanning tickets for those events, you are more than welcome to join us and visit us at our next meeting in September and get to know the Volunteers in Partnership and participate in helping these properties put off a good event and make sure that everybody that's there is safe and they enjoy it and they get serviced with convenience and expeditiously when they're entering and trying to find their seats. The River 250 grant final evaluation was turned in on the 20th of July. Only thing that's left to turn in now are assets, and those would be anything that are stills, videos, anything that came from the drones, any publications that we did. They're all going in this big envelope and going to the State of Nevada, Travel Nevada, and Governor Lombardo's office. He wants to see actual things that happened here in person, in visuals, and he also wants to see videos. So we've put a couple little things together for him, and we'll be sending it out by the end of the month. It wasn't required to pull in for the evaluation period, but it is due by the end of the month, so he can have a big notebook and storybook of everything that happened in the state of Nevada, especially with the Nevada state grants that we got. We ended up getting over $41,000 in grant money. That grant money also served as the support for 3 legacy programs. This is one of them. The banner, I don't know if you guys picked up a sheet back, but this banner that was 75 foot by 25 foot is the first banner to hang on Davis Dam. I'm sorry, to hang on Davis Dam. It hung up there for 8 days. And when it came down, we decided not to throw it away or put it in a storage for no reason. But because it was the first and it is a legacy program, we turned it into one. So 250 pieces will be made in frames like this. The frames are all being donated by the thrift shops and local residents on both sides of the river, so they don't have to buy them. Myself and the volunteers create 2 to 4 a week. We're now on number 7. The first 5 benefited the Boys and Girls Club of the Colorado River that was held at the Riverside Casino, and that event raised $71,000. The first 5 of these, they raised little over $1,000 for the club because people got to take something home in the silent auction. And the very first one, the L in the Laughlin, Nevada, was presented to Matt Laughlin and his family because it naturally belongs to them. It was presented to them in a beautiful frame with some extras, foil and that kind of stuff, and he really was appreciative of that. So it's going to hang in a nice common place for everyone to see. So these are available for purchase or for auction, and you can contact me at 928-565-0221. I'm telling you that there are a lot of requests in already for some of the letters, but there are still a lot of pieces that have not been claimed, and there are 250 pieces. So like the full letter of Laughlin actually went to Matt Laughlin. This D in Davis is 5 feet tall, so getting full frames to cover a full letter has been quite challenging. But back in the day, people put a lot of big pictures on their walls, so I've been able to score on some that people had in their garage. What we're doing is refurbishing those frames and making them look new, just like this one. And then we'll split, like if two people want a J, we'll give them each a half of a J or something like that. We're trying to be creative so we get exactly 250 pieces out. It comes with an engraved bronze certificate of authenticity. This actually says that it's number 7 of 250, and this tells the story of how it happened. This is the grommet that actually hung the banner. There are marks on the banner. Some of them are bird poop. Some of them are just bad things. We removed everything that we could, but some of them were just from the wind and everything that happened. This is an official picture. This is the illustration that came from the back of all the shirts for River 250. This was the official America 250, and this was a flag that was made in the USA. I'm not putting any flags on there that aren't. So if you want to look at the details, you can. If you want to put in a request for one, at auction, the minimum bid is $100. So we go up from there. If they go to auction, if you want to purchase one, it actually depends on the size that we have to handle. Like I said, some of the letters go up to 5 feet tall, and so those frames are a little harder to play with. So they end up being about 5.5 feet. It's a little harder to do. My living room and my kitchen are now turned into a Aaron's Frame Mart. If you remember Aaron's Framing Company, oh my gosh, it looks crazy. But I'm alone, so that's all right. I just make a mess, and people come over and help me. The other one is the other legacy program is the mural. It's about 5 feet by 20 feet. It'll be attached to a full wall at our combined Colorado River Historical Society's museum along the river. That is going to be on a full wall for 2 reasons. The first reason is that museum is planning expansion. So if we were to attach it to the north wall, where we want it to expose people who are driving south and bring attention to our museum, we would have to move it every time. We're going to build it in a warehouse. So hint, I'm looking for a warehouse that's probably about 20 by 30. If there's anything available that we can use that's climate controlled, we need to have our saw cutters for tile, glass, metal, those kind of things. It's all going to be created out of repurposed materials from here in the valley. Nothing will be new. We're trying to reduce the carbon footprint on the earth to create this historical mural. The mural is going to tell pieces of history about our river here, and it's going to be about 20, up to 21 pieces of history that will be depicted with a legend on the side. So each of those historical moments will be numbered, and then you just go to the legend to learn what that represents, from Fort Mojave Indians to the building of the dam, camels in commerce, all that stuff, steamboats, paddle boats. That will be starting in the fall once we get everything together, and it will probably go for a year. We have already scheduled place your piece days, so if we cut a piece out, we will lay them out, and you can come place your piece and be a part of history of making that mural that will be seen by generations to come. It's a real project of love for the museum and for me personally, for our youth. They'll be able to actually feel it, see it, know that it came from materials that came from right here, and they'll be able to share it with their children also. It's a new way of learning. The last legacy project is the America 250 logo that's going to go on the Laughlin water tower above the RV resort. And that's going to be started in the fall too. Of course, it's way too hot to be painting in a man lift and putting that up there. But that will be started in the fall, and that one's being covered by the revenue that we made from the shirts. Part of it went to school, giving some of the children who couldn't afford T-shirts, we got those for them for free, and it's also going towards this project. And it's been approved by LTC as a proposed expense already. The last thing I have to report on is Go Laughlin. It's still active. The Facebook page and the website page is still active, and you can request things to go in there if they're affiliated with some kind of tourism marketing or destination marketing for our area. And I stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board? No? All right. Thank you. You've been busy, as usual. Okay. All right. Receive a report from Kelly Lair, Clark County 4-H Camp Alamo Coordinator, regarding the status of programs and upcoming activities. Welcome.
Good to see you guys again. We had, and I say we, Laughlin, had 10 junior high and high school students attend a teen leadership camp back in July at Camp Alamo. This is my new office. Last time I saw you, it wasn't public knowledge. I actually accepted the position because nobody was up there. It's in Lincoln County, so it's a little cooler, 10 degrees maybe. But imagine my surprise. I was pleased to see Devin show up to the camp with 10 kids, familiar kids from Laughlin, one from Searchlight, and include them in just a remarkable opportunity made possible by Justice of the Peace Gino Briscoe from here in Laughlin and the Laughlin American Legion. So I've brought a couple pictures that caught our kids interacting and creating friendships and displaying creativity with other great teen leaders. They came from Alamo, Logandale, Mesquite, and Searchlight, so we tried to include all the outlying areas. They painted palettes to decorate the actual camp. They created vision boards. It's going to show Michael Jackson, that's his real name. During karaoke, he was considered the karaoke king. He didn't sing anything Michael Jackson. He shredded Journey songs. He did a fantastic job. So they had a remarkable time, and it was just a joy to see him interact and showcase their confidence and intelligence with other kids. They're just on a path to greatness, and it was an opportunity to enjoy water slides, rope courses, karaoke, rock climbing, and archery. That's all the stuff that we have up there. And it was in between classes called Adulting 101, creating personal goals through vision boards, budgeting, and public speaking was a big one. And they also visited a working ranch and farm in Pranagat Valley and learned about leadership on a daily basis of leading people through what they do every day there in agriculture. We just had a really good, positive time. We had positive feedback from all the attendees. They're excited to come back, and we hope to offer it again next year. That's why I'm here to report, is just because without the generosity of Mr. Briscoe and the American Legion, these kids wouldn't have gone. They couldn't afford to go. And, you know, I do work for a different commissioner now, but these commissioners talk about these kids, some of them have never seen the other side of the freeway or the other side of the street. So to go up, you know, 3 hours away from Laughlin to the middle of nowhere and experience and see things, they were excited to hear the cows and the donkeys and the roosters, just to see that and experience agriculture at its finest. And then I got to interact with them again. I hadn't seen them for a while, so that was nice. But I just came to say thank you and to let you know that they truly felt blessed that they had that opportunity. I also brought some healthy aging and living newsletters. They're in the back. We have a grandparents camp coming to Camp Alamo in September, and a healthy aging living camp coming in October. I'm hoping to connect with some of my favorite people from the senior centers there. Some of them have signed up, and so I'll be able to see them again at these awesome gatherings. I also wanted to report that my old position for Lecturer 2 / educator / community outreach / program coordinator for Southern Clark County is going to be posted within the month. So if there's any persons or candidates of interest, I'm going to let Jill know as soon as it goes live, and we'll see if we can get it on social media as well. 4 months is a long time to go without somebody that's a liaison, but just know that I'm not reporting on curriculum or what's happening in the schools. That's Devin, and Devin is a community-based instructor, and she's still interacting with the schools, and she's still providing the educational aspect to that. I just want you to know I miss the Laughlin community. I don't miss the heat, but I miss my interactions with you all. And I did bring some information from camp. If any of you are interested in camp, my email is the same, kellylair@unr.edu. And this facility is awesome. It was why I was so excited to go. We do wedding rentals, family reunions, day camps, retreats, and of course the overnight camps. And a lot of it is for underserved populations, which is why I was so eager to go do that, because to see them for 2 or 3 days in working in some type of capacity with other people that they've never had the opportunity, that it makes me feel like I'm doing something, I'm making a difference. So I didn't abandon you. I will come back if you need me for anything. And we're having an open house this Thursday in Camp Alamo. So if you're up in Pahranagat Valley, 4 to 7, Thursday the 13th, we're having an open house. So any questions for me or about UNR Extension?
No? Thank you so much.
I'm going to pass this around so you guys can actually see what the facility looks like.
Okay, thank you. It's like fun. Anything cooler. All right. Item number 10 for us today is to review previous fiscal year budget requests and to take public input regarding requests for the next fiscal year budget. This is for discussion only. If I can just ask, is there any type of written request from the public or a data sheet where they can put that in, or is it just strictly oral, or?
Yeah, so it'd be so we do this yearly. This is it's essentially our wish list. I know I provided the previous year. A lot of those things are still on there that we've asked before, and maybe because what I do is I take this, I go to all of our 38 departments. I say this is what Laughlin is looking to get. Some will say it's not possible, we don't have funding, we need to do a traffic study, we need to do all this. So we can keep some on there that maybe we could then ask again to continue to do a study. This is kind of just the introduction to kick it off. So we can take public input on it, people can say what they want to do. There is no real budget set to this. This is more of like thinking of ideas that could enhance the township. As I always say, everyone's always welcome to email, call me, let me know, and I can sometimes, instead of putting this on a capital improvement plan, I could go straight to RPM or straight to Public Works and ask those questions. So that happens a lot of times as well, but that's just our normal exercise, and we do it across all of our town boards. So, but yes, you can take input, and then ultimately the board, you'll decide what you want to put on it, and then I believe it's the next 2 meetings, and we do like formal adoption and then a formal adoption. So,
Okay.
yeah, if that answers, if I'm missing.
I was just, the information, I was just looking if there was like an input, if there was something, because we haven't done it in the past, but when it says looking for input from the public, if there was something, in a timeline saying, get in touch with the office. And if there is something from the public, and then the next meeting, if there was any of those that were input, we could take a look at those too.
Yeah, and we can do that. We try to keep it more controlled with the board, so it's kind of like you ultimately get the decision, because if we have people, we'll have a list that'll have 100 things, and then it kind of gets a little too confusing. So I think here, if people want to share with you as the board, or if they want to share here today, or if they want to share it the next time, there'll be those opportunities to kind of add it to it. So it's ultimately up to you how you want to do it. If they do want to email us, we can always share it with the board, but that kind of gets a little hard with getting everyone to say yay or nay on that. So, but yeah.
Okay, so you sat on the board last year when we did these originally, and then Carrie?
I think this is Carrie's first time.
All right. Do you have any questions on these, like the community digital market? I think you were here because you were sitting in the audience. So
Yes, I was present. I'm familiar with this whole list and
Okay.
lists for the last couple decades, but
I don't know, one thing I don't see on here is the light close to the dollar store, if there can be a study or something done, you know, to do it. I've heard it talked about before, but traffic light, you know what I'm talking about?
And that, I think, was a traffic study issue. There was one done, a number, and I'm thinking 2005
do
or
another
so.
I think we did one last year to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
and
remember one
What'd they
when it
say?
first came
it
up.
didn't warrant a light or a sidewalk, unfortunately, or a crosswalk, excuse me. Yeah. So those are the ones I'm saying if we want to do it again and then reevaluate, maybe see if it's increased, we can always do that as well.
Yeah, that was 20 years. We had one in 2005, and then last year would be
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
And,
Then
and there's federal requirements that dictate when you can put in traffic signals and stuff. What we were able to get was there's just a flashing light there. And that was, you know, the complete amount that we were able to get at that
How
time.
about putting something on the street, you know, that says like slow down or, you know, something like that?
We can always look at that. We could put like, you know, traffic, I don't know the word, like traffic calming measures or traffic signage, maybe like an evaluation of
But isn't Needles Highway,
that's.
it has state requirements on
Yeah.
that road. It's not
Yeah.
like it's, and that was one of the things with the traffic study, because even though we just consider it a street, it is a state highway. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
So we
there
can kinda
are
do stuff.
additional requirements and hoops to jump through to do that, and I'm not even sure if you could paint something on that.
True.
I'm not sure. It's a
Yeah.
question we could ask.
Yeah, we can always ask these. Like I said,
Worst
these.
they can say is no.
Yep.
We've heard that before.
Yeah, these are the and these are the things that they're the wish list that we can kind of start to get the ball rolling. That they kind of get an idea of what the pulse is, but then they also have to take it and put it in their budget and see if they have the money within the whole unincorporated Clark County to do stuff like that. So, but like I said, we can always add it, put it in there, and I think, like you were mentioning, Ms. Oaks, is that you know the road itself is all probably state, and then it looks more to like the right of way and stuff. We could maybe, but.
And then the other thing is, I don't know whether this falls under this jurisdiction, but the study that was done, I don't know how many years ago in the early 2000s about whether Laughlin could be a city or not, is that in this jurisdiction or? Because I know it's not done by us, it's a study that's
I
done
don't
by.
think Clark County can budget well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That one I'd have to ask and see because they do like the whole incorporation study and how that would work. I don't know what department that might fall under or how, but I would have to look into that one for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was 2005 as well. It was a
Is that when
busy
it was,
year.
2005? So
Yeah,
that's
it
what,
was.
21
It was
years
the
ago?
same year we had the auction. For the,
And we have the same population.
yeah.
Well, but the casinos weren't considered though. So I'm interested to see.
Well, it was done both ways. It was with and without the financials packages. But
Maybe we can get San Diego to donate some of their freeway signs so we can put them up at the dollar store of people running and
Let's do
carrying their
it.
children.
I love
I
cross-county
hadn't
jurisdictional
seen
work.
these.
Yeah, I
We
didn't
know
notice
they were
that.
here until today. Okay. So just to pull the discussion back to the board, if you go over these, if we can maybe, if there's other things that people come to you, bring, and have those ready to give to Kathleen for the next meeting, would that be okay? If any of the public want to, reach out to us, things that you would consider important for the community, more than welcome, to input those as well and have discussion on them.
Yeah.
All right. So that was for discussion only, and then we'll move forward now to item planning and zoning. We have none before us. And item number 7, general business. We have nothing sitting before us. So, item number 8, which is comments by the general public. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public on matters that are relevant to this board's jurisdiction, but no vote may be taken on a matter not listed on the posted agenda. We can't engage in conversation and back and forth at this section, but comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium again, state your name and address for the record, and please spell your name for Kathleen. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of a presentation, this will be done by the chair or by the board by majority vote. Okay, and would anyone like to speak, public comment? Please come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, spell your last name, and you're welcome to speak on any items subject to this board's jurisdiction but not listed here today.
Jackie Wallen, representing the Legacy Program again. I've neglected to say that all monies earned by sale or auction of those frames goes to a nonprofit designated for that 25 pieces. So like I said, the Boys and Girls Club of the Colorado River will benefit from the first 25. The next 25 will benefit the food banks.
Oh, okay.
The next 25 will be decided after that. So 10 nonprofits will benefit from the sale or auction of those. I don't get anything. It's just my sweat equity I'm investing. Now I'm representing the River Fund. The River Fund has decided to come back with a duck derby again. It will be in March of 2027. We're planning straight ahead. You'll hear more from myself or Jill as the people for River Fund do the setup and make the decision. We're thinking right around March 15th, but we will let you know. And it will be a surprise again on where we do it. So we'll let you know what's coming up. And that 100% benefits the River Fund Inc.
Okay, all right, thank you. Welcome.
Hello, you guys. My name's Scott Palmer. I live at 2220 Hoover Drive. Annette Lamar told me that she was here last month, brought up a issue about the taxi cab drivers not being able to get into the event center. So we're just doing a follow-up on that, just to kind of remind you guys that we're still out here. It would facilitate your guests in Laughlin, I think, make the experience a little better for them, because last time it happened, they were actually getting frustrated and walking out to the street. And there are some handicapped visitors in the city that we couldn't get to, and it was pretty tough on them. It's, you know, it's not a pressing issue really, but just so if you guys could help us on that, maybe think about it. It would probably, you know, like I said, enhance your visitor experience during the concerts. I just want to thank you guys for your service to the community and let you know that I'm a desert cab driver. Annette Lamar is with Lucky Cab. And if you guys have the time, maybe you want to Google Desert Cab Laughlin or Desert Cab or Lucky Cab Laughlin and see a lot of nice comments from our residents where we've assisted them in some pretty precarious situations. I had the opportunity to address the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority a couple months ago, and Mr. Naft called me to meet with me. And I would just want to let you know that we have a lot of feedback from the customers, and if you guys are interested in what they're hearing, I figure the guys at the top need to know what's going on at the bottom so you can make the right decisions, and I can definitely help you with that. Mr. Naft thought my input was pretty valuable. I took a trip up to Canada, where I'm from. I used to play violin in Canada's National Symphony. My string quartet appeared at the Kennedy Center, and I was granted citizenship because of it. But I took a trip up to Canada. I was building a $1 billion hard rock project in Ottawa, and I did some surveys up there on what the Canadians were thinking about Americans right now. It wasn't that great, but bottom line is, if you guys are interested, you know, in some of the stuff that they had to say or what our visitors are saying to us, I think that could prove helpful in, you know, just helping the business here. Because we hear a lot of things, you know, in the cab business, and, you know, we've done a lot. A couple of weeks ago, one of the desert drivers helped collar a hit and run suspect over here a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, we're your eyes and ears, and we hear a lot of things. So bottom line is, you know, I just wanted to introduce myself, and again, thank you guys for your service. And if you're interested in talking to me about what the customers are saying about Laughlin and what they think, you know, we could do better, I'm all for it, okay?
All right, thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
Mark, if I,
I'm here to respond for you. I'm the one that took that on, the question that you asked last time. Inquiries were sent to the Golden Entertainment. Laughlin Tourism sponsors those events that happen there in portion, not in all. So we met with Metropolitan Police, we met with Golden Entertainment, and we met with the Silver Rider, who helps with traffic control on that Bruce Woodbury.
Bruce Woodbury, yeah.
Bruce Woodbury Road. So they all are meeting, and before our next concert, we will have a public announcement for you. So that not only you are told, but we'll make sure everybody's advised, okay?
All right, because up until, for 11 years, we were able to pick up at the concerts, and all of a sudden, this last concert, we were not.
Well, I've already made contact, and they're making a decision, and we'll make sure that you know, and I'll make sure that the county knows and that chamber knows so they can get it out on public, okay? Sorry it's taking so long.
Okay.
Mark, I just have a point of clarification, because it's a different world today than what it was in my days in law enforcement. So cab drivers have certain clarifications, certifications, backgrounds, things like that. This allowance that we're making for cabs makes sense. Is that also in Clark County with Uber and Lyft? Because so I just, they don't go through the same qualifications and stuff that cab drivers do. So I'm just wondering, does Steve have an opinion on that, whether that's allowed or?
Correct, yeah, and after we got the comment last month, we talked with Lieutenant Rogers and let him know the situation, because I believe there's the safety concern of, you can't just let anybody in that says I'm a driver, because you don't want to bring them into the event space. But he's looking into it and probably working with Jackie's team and all that and the chamber and everyone to make sure the permitting is correct and all that. So I will follow up with him again and see to get some more information.
I mean, the cab drivers have backgrounds, they're licensed, monitored and stuff like that. But Uber, and I mean, I see so many vehicles driving with, all they got to do is flip that light on, and that could be a potential problem. And they don't always have the best interest of, the community in mind.
Yeah, and I know they have to get a business license to be an Uber driver. So, I don't know, or Uber and Lyft rideshare driver. I don't know the background of how far intense. So I'd have to look in that as well. But, So.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mind if I add one thing I forgot?
Sure. Go ahead. Come up to so we can hear it.
Like I said, I just want to let you guys know what's going on. Thank you for what you said, Kathy, about the Uber drivers. We do go through an extensive background, 20-year FBI federal background check, and drug testing, physicals. We really go through the ringer. And you're right, the Uber drivers definitely have a less extensive background, which is why some of the things that you read about are happening. I want to let you know that we've had 2 successful sting operations with federal transportation agents in the last few months. We've got a lot of gypsy cabs in the city now. They're picking up customers from the Harris Valleys, the Riverside. When they're going to our phones to call us, they're swooping in and telling them they're cab drivers. They're charging way more money than we do, and they're not insured. This is becoming rampant. And again, I set up a couple stings, which were successful. We've nailed a few of them, but they're still out there. So in the spirit of what I said about letting you guys know what's going on out there, that is becoming a real problem. We're trying to address it, but we have to get the TA guys in from Vegas, and they only have so many resources. So we've been pretty successful, but if there's anything else you guys could add, to maybe help us with that, that would definitely be much appreciated, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. One thing, maybe too, for him in the future, the chiefs are, Gino's not here. Whether the chiefs of security used to have, a monthly meeting. That might be something that, I don't know if they're aware of that, and if that meeting still goes on. When I had the canines, and we offered those for explosives detection.
And that meeting still goes on. I attend that meeting as well, so I can bring that up to let them know everything. So that's
I wasn't
good.
sure if it was still going on. The pandemic made everything strange.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right,
and that's a
thank
good meeting to bring it up. So.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone else for public comment? Those are items within the board's jurisdiction, but not on today's agenda. Okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close that portion of our meeting. Our next meeting date will be September 8th, 2026. And so I'll go ahead and hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a
Second.
second and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your afternoon. Thank you.